So, Regis, there was the club, I think, wanted some clarity on the penalty handball incident on Monday night. Did you get that? Were you satisfied with the response that you received?
I didn't read it.
Not interested?
Yes, I would like, but I don't. I'm not sure that we have received the answer so far. Not sure. Yeah.
Can I just come up with the injuries? Obviously, I know Romain, Dennis, they won't be back for tomorrow's game. How are they doing generally? Are you hopeful that they might be back after the international?
Dennis will probably play with the under-21s, and Romain is close to play as well. So we wanted to delay a bit Romain because of his injury. Hamstring injury is a bit different. So we wanted consistency across 2 or 3 weeks, full training, and he's in a good place now.
So he could be back potentially for full.
Yeah, close.
Yeah. Enzo did an interview a few weeks ago, I think it was ahead of the Wolves game, and he talked about how he felt that he had a lot more to show at this level. And I think the last few games, he's looked like the Enzo we saw at times last season. How pleased are you with his progress? Do you think it's just a case of him having the time to adjust to this level?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the dynamic of Enzo. He started a bit slowly this season, and for different reasons, maybe physical reasons, maybe the new setup, his position as well. So we had many conversations, and I trust him 100%. His mentality and his potential level at that in this Premier League. So after that, it's a long journey with a new team, new teammates, and we finally found a good position with different references. So I think it's the left triangle with Noah, Ray, even with the support of Lucha, for example, is really interesting. Really difficult to understand how they behave, because they are combining, they are moving with their own creativity, and it takes time. It's not like just one training session and the output will be positive, and is doing well now, I think.
And just as you mentioned 10 games there, and this has almost been a perfect test, how do you kind of assess where the team's at after 10 games? Because defensively, obviously the numbers are very, very impressive from you, from a team. Are you still hoping to add layers on that going forward and building the attack?
Yeah, I think we still have room for improvement in different areas. If we defend properly, I think we are setting good foundations for our confidence, for the build-up and so on. So for me, it's always a priority, the way we want to defend together. And it's not just a question of tactics, it's a question of mentality as well, togetherness. And a forward has to work like a defender, and when you create this workflow, I think you can set good foundation for the offensive phase.
We've talked a lot about Granit, Regis, maybe slightly less so about Noah, but he's obviously been a player coming in without having any previous experience of the Premier League, a lot less experience than Granit, and yet he's done so well. Just talk a little bit about how you feel he's settled into English football and how impressed you've been with that impact at such a young age.
Yeah, so we can forget that he's only 20 sometimes. Yeah, really good player, different personality. I think he's smart as well to understand what is needed to go further, and it's probably you have to have a specific profile. Is it physical? Is it technical? I don't know. You don't find always the same profile, but he has his own characteristic, which I think fit well with the Premier League demand. Yeah. But at the same time, you have the mentality to learn and to be aware about what are the characteristics of my environment, and how can I support the team, how can I receive advices from different players to learn and to grow quickly. Yeah. So he has this combination of talent on one side, and the other side, the ability to learn quickly.
And I'm sure every week you will focus on set pieces and do drills and things like that. Has there been an added focus on it this week with Arsenal? We all know the threat they've got from corners in particular. Have you spent more time on it than maybe you would otherwise?
Yeah, a bit more. We spent a lot of time every week on that topic. It's so important in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They are really impressive. They have different options. They often use the same one, and they succeed the same one. So the delivery is excellent. Their setup is like a ballet, really clearly, with specific attention about details, and they gained confidence. And so it means for the opponent, you can struggle and you can be a bit afraid about this strength. So good challenge once again, and happy to be in the challenge.
And I know, you will clearly have plans in place and you will have worked on very specific tactical things. And yet, sometimes when you watch an Arsenal, and even, the best pundits will say this, it just feels like their players are so aggressive. They want the ball so much more. They're so powerful that actually you can have all the plans in place in the world, but ultimately will your centre-halves want it as much as them and put their head there? Is that a too simplistic a thing, or sometimes is there a bit of that?
I think it's they are balanced. They have everything at the minute, and it's much harder to challenge. So I think it's a long project, and progressively they built the different layers to be so balanced, to be so composed, to be so well organized, and so on.
And last one from me. Kirill obviously did his interview before the game and talked a bit about January and basically suggested that there was a mood upstairs that if you need support you will get it, that there will be an opportunity to do that in January. I mean, I know we're a little bit off yet, but it's getting nearer. Do you envisage in January kind of, if the opportunity's there and something comes up, great, but actually there's not major gaps within this squad we need to fill, or do you think there are gaps that ideally you'd like to fill in January?
Yeah, it's still possible to reinforce the squad, and we'll have a new window to challenge the balance of the team, and for maybe some players it will be interesting to leave on loan to get some minutes. And if we can find one or two targets to reinforce the squad, why not? But we must find not only the football quality, but also someone who can be connected with the whole project. So it's hard to find.
It must though be, you're doing it from a position of strength, aren't you? Had the start of this season gone really differently, we might have been going into January saying, goodness me, Sunderland have to make 4 or 5 signings, otherwise it's certainly not that, is it? You're in a position of strength.
Yeah, absolutely, which shows that we worked well before, and it wasn't an easy task. So well done for this part. But stay aware, because stay alert. And sometimes you can, if you add something, it's not always more. It could be less. So this balance is very important to find.
Oh, it is. Granit is arguably your best player. He is your captain. In a sense, do you consider him an informal part of your coaching team?
Yeah, this is the methodology. Our methodology is built on responsibility. We believe in this club that we have to build like knowledge, a shared knowledge, but after that, on the pitch, the players has to deliver in real time with flexibility, adaptability. So Granit is probably one of the main example at the minute, because of his level, his previous experiences, his knowledge, and so on. So he leads by example, but for his teammates, it's exactly the same pathway. And obviously you don't start at the same level, but the vision is the same. So really good example, and I repeat, he's not alone. We want to create other leaders, even if you are not vocal or the man in front of the cameras. When you are on the pitch in a triangle, for example, you can be a leader. You won't see it or hear it so clearly, but we have different leaders in different parts of the pitch, and some of them are not vocal, but they are leaders.
You say how Granit fills his teammates with belief, and you say he's always going around saying believe, believe. Has he been saying this week, has he convinced his teammates that Sunderland can beat Arsenal?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the mentality of the squad. We know that the challenge will be huge, will be massive, probably the most important so far. But we are in a good place as well, and we have something to show.
Just one more from me. In your first season at Lorient, you beat the leaders, Paris Saint-Germain aside, which had Messi and Mbappe in the side. Is there anything that you can learn from that day to this weekend?
Yeah, the stories are always different, but at least it shows that even if you are not the favorite, you can work against the odds. It's possible, and I think it's our pathway. We have to show that we have always something to break, and so far we did it. So why not once more?
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Regis, it seems like the club's been thrown into a lot of the spotlight recently, especially in the last couple of weeks, the games against Chelsea and Everton. I mean, you're coming into the Arsenal game, 4th in the table, 18 points. And I think Granit said in the club interview this week that he's not really surprised by the team's league position. I was going to ask if that's something that you're surprised by, and also how much you're enjoying the run that you're on.
Yeah, it's positive to win games and points early in the season, especially because this league is so demanding. At the same time, our target remains the same. We have to be in a good place in May with at least, I think, 40 points, something like that. If we can have more, we'll be happy. So it's a step-by-step process. If I'm surprised, not really, because I don't have a specific expectation before. I just want to work hard to try to find the best version of the current squad, and we'll see how things will go. At the minute, it's positive, but we know that in this league we'll struggle. For example, it's absolutely obvious for tomorrow, but the output is unknown at the minute.
I mean, as well, there's been I feel like the common themes in press conferences and from yourself is unity, togetherness, and the till the end mantra about setting standards. I was wondering what kind of the differences have been between last season and the Championship and coming into the Premier League, because it seems like in the Championship for that promotion season, you guys were already on a decent level, and now it's just kind of gone to another level. So how have you kind of seen that change this season?
Yeah, I think it's a bit early to say that. The mindset of the team was excellent last season. Probably we didn't have one or two players really above the level, but it was a bit more balanced. Even if Job was excellent, for example, or Wilson in spells as well. But the team this togetherness was absolutely fantastic last season, and across 49 games, which is massive. So this mindset is the same this season with different players, they're different level, and we enjoy as a coaching staff to have this kind of player because we can be more ambitious in the game, but our opponents are stronger as well.
When you analyse the Arsenal defence, what impresses you most?
They are really well organised with high level of flexibility, and they have also individual players to manage gaps when they are out of position. They have the quality, the physicality to manage small mistakes, because they don't make many mistakes. So strong organization, flexible, and top level quality. I think it's good. It's really positive.
Have you seen them be uncomfortable this season?
Not often. But it's still possible to score. Obviously, they are strong, so the challenge is probably higher. But at the same time, we still have the belief that it's possible. We'll see.
Would you consider playing 2 strikers against them?
I don't know. I would like. We'll see.
And are they vulnerable on the flanks? Do you see any vulnerabilities at all?
Not really, because they are really well balanced. So if after 10 games in the Premier League and I don't know 4 or 5 in the Champions League, you didn't concede many goals, it shows that you have the ability to manage different scenarios, different strengths, and so on. So it means that they are really balanced, and with this quality to be consistent and flexible. So no real weaknesses, but at the same time in football we don't know before, and we'll try to play our best football, and we'll see.
Just a word on Noah. Obviously, you picked up a yellow card quite early on against Everton in frustration. With, arguably could have been a free kick beforehand. How have you been impressed by his sort of mentality afterwards? Because, young player playing in the Premier League, picked up a booking. Many people would expect the manager to maybe change things, but you kept him on there.
Yeah, he got a bit frustrated before, because it started early, probably early in the game. We spoke this week about the topic, and probably the first time he wasn't so composed emotionally, and it's a good experience because he had the ability to feel it and to fix it in real time, which is not obvious for a young player, and he did well. So one more quality and one more listen for him.
Yeah, obviously he's someone who's played a lot of football this year. Is that something that you looked for in the recent summer transfer market? Because a lot is said about the Premier League, the pace, the physicality, and players picking up injuries, and yet a lot of the players who we've brought in, obviously almost got a concussion, there's not a lot you can do there, but a lot of the players who we've brought in, they're so far so good, they've avoided any sort of small niggly injuries like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think robustness is key in this league, so you have to have a specific profile, because now we use data to profile the players, and if you don't have the ability to run in your previous league, it will be tough to fill the gap in the Premier League. And if you're in your previous career you had many injuries, it means that it might be difficult to play here. So with these 2 topics, I think we avoided big mistakes, and after that you have to experience the Premier League, and so far so good. Yeah.
Last one, obviously, Lucha Pietrov has been called up again to the Dutch national team squad. How impressed have you been since he's come back into the squad, as in playing from the very off? Because again, he's somebody who hasn't experienced the Premier League, but then he's obviously been called up for his national team.
Yeah, it's not a surprise, because we knew his level before. So we spoke about this topic during the first part of the season. Our defense started really well, gained momentum. So you don't want to change at that moment. So you just have to wait the opportunity, and it was the case for Lucha. Waited 8 games, 8 games before starting a game, and then showed his quality because he was ready. He trained properly. He stayed positive, well connected with the squad, and then when it's open, I can show my quality, and it's not a surprise for me.